Well, Mike, Penn State won a game they were supposed to win against Indiana this week. It was a miserable game with the weather up there at Happy Valley. But I'm watching the game. I'm actually there.
You're in the house.
In the cold. I'm getting to see the plays develop.
Starkey in the house.
Mike Worrell dropping names. It was his seats, end zones. Great angle. But I'm watching Clark throw a lot of out patterns and deep throws, fades in the end zones. And they weren't, first of all, the wind was blowing across, so he's thrown into the wind on some of those. And again, I go back to what we were thinking about with the Iowa game, play calling here. Are they setting their players up in the best positions to make them successful out there, Mike? And I'm asking you that question from what you see, your observations with this game.
The only problem that I had with play calling at the Iowa game was that first series.
Okay.
Other than that, I thought their play calling was pretty good. They really mixed it up and did a lot of variety in their running game, which I think is excellent. I think they'll probably do that Saturday against Michigan State. I think that, and Joe, of course, did not admit this, but I think they were kind of setting up, not wanting to show Michigan State everything, for one thing. Right. Evan Royster only got 12 carries. I think Joe tries to milk his tailback and give his tailback some rest at the late in the year. The other thing is I thought they were very, very determined to get Darryl Clark off to a good start throwing the ball, and very, very determined to get the ball to the wide receivers. So I think they thought, we're playing a bad team with a terrible defense, and we're going to try to address some of our issues a little bit rather than just doing everything we can do to stomp Indiana into the ground. That was my feeling.
Well, when they were going 5 wide to start the game, they were stretching out. I thought, one, Clark should have been trying to run the ball more. That's why he's out there. He's the athletic. And if they're going to be throwing these fades, then get Devlin some throws during the game. That's what he's strong at. So that's just one of my takes with this.
Remember last week, Joe said about how we used Derek Williams so much running the ball at direct snap because we were concerned about Clark with a concussion. Yeah. I asked him that question just now in the press conference, and he said no, Clark is back to 100%, and you saw that he did run hard a few times. He really did run hard on Saturday. So that's not. I don't think that's really an issue, and I think he probably will run the ball more. I think in those 5 wide situations, if there's something in the middle of the field available, he'll take it this week.
And then you bring up Williams. I got to bring up, this guy's playing phenomenal right now.
He is.
He had 2 touchdowns on Saturday, one on sort of a reverse type. Well, it wasn't reverse. It just sort of a handoff. He came out from a wide receiver into the backfield, which turned out to really put the game away. And before that, on a nice pass from Clark to Williams. Can you tell me a little bit about him?
Well, I think he's a really good, really versatile football player, and I think their offense and their play calling and their way of using him has kind of caught up to him, and it's working right now. I think to this point he has not really had the kind of career that you would have thought. He was the most highly recruited player in the country coming out of high school, and he's not really a pure great wide receiver. He's a good wide receiver, but using him running the ball, using him as a halfback, using him as a quarterback almost in a direct snap kind of things, I think really they are getting the best out of him now. He's a mature kid. I think he's totally bought into. He's a hard worker and all that intangible stuff. So I think he's really going to be a central figure in the couple of games that Penn State still has to play.
They're going to need him for the next 2. Michigan State's going to be a big game, and then whatever bowl game they get, he's going to be key as well.
He will be huge, yeah, no doubt.